Hey you guys, it's Leslie with Fat Cat Flossing. Welcome back to my channel. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy what I want to chat about, all about stitching stuff and what goes on in my crazy life. And if you're coming back again, boy, I sure appreciate you being willing to listen to me more than once. Nobody else in my family wants to do that. So anyway, welcome back, and I've sure been looking forward to chatting with you again. It's been kind of a crappy, stressful week here. As I mentioned before, I breed Burman cats, and I've had two issues. You know, one of the things I love about breeding is kittens. Kittens are so much fun. I mean, you just lavish love on them, and they give it right back, and it's awesome. Except for when it isn't. When I first started off in nursing, I worked in labor and delivery. And I worked in L&D for 7 years. And L&D is about the happiest place you can work as a nurse, because 99.9% of the time, the outcomes are good. And you're sending people home from the hospital happy. And when it's not good, it's god-awful. And being a cat breeder is a little bit like that too. Because 99% of the time, I get so much more back out of my cats than I put into them. You know, I'll never get back the money I put into them. But the affection I get back from them, and the calls and emails that I get from folks sending pictures back about how much they love their babies and everything, is just priceless. But this week, it's been a little bit more on the stressful side. I've got a kitten who hasn't been well since she was about 6 weeks old when she got an upper respiratory infection, and she's had multiple courses of antibiotics, and anyway, has not done well, has not gained weight, consistently is either not eating or is nauseated. And you can tell a cat is nauseated because they froth real prolifically. But anyway, this little kitty has not been doing well. And she's been back and forth to the vet. And we've decided that what's most likely she has is probably what's called a portohepatic shunt. And it occurs also in people. This is the second one I've probably seen in 15 years of breeding cats, and it's not going to get better. And she's just not doing well. She's pretty pitiful, and I love her to pieces, and I haul her around with me, and she's no bigger in a minute. I could basically put her in my pocket, but I'm getting real close to the point where I'm going to have to make that really hard decision, whether it's kinder to let her go or to keep her, and I'm really struggling with that. Sorry. But dagnabbit, moving right along. My other stressful thing with cats this week has been that one of my breeding girls, Poppy, who is a beautiful blue point girl, has got what's called pyometria, which is basically a uterine infection. And we've been to the vet, and she's on antibiotics, and she's looking good. It's open and draining, and so hopefully we'll get her well and be able to preserve her fertility. And I've got her sequestered in my kitten room, and I'm feeding her extra special stuff, and got her on antibiotics, and checking her temp twice a day, and yada yada, which let me tell you is a challenge with a cat. So y'all cross your fingers and say a little prayer that my Poppy is going to be okay. And if she doesn't look better by next week, I'll have to spay her, which I would hate to do. She's only 2 years old. She's only had one litter, which was all boys, so I didn't get anything to keep out of her. And I would hate to lose that line because they're beautiful, sweet cats. But, you know, have to do what's best for her. So we'll probably go back to the vet on Monday or Tuesday, unless she gets worse in the interim, in which case we'll end up at the emergency vet in Fort Smith. But make a decision as to what to do with her then. So y'all say a little prayer for Poppy and Stella both. But anyway, moving on from things that make me want to cry to things that make me happy, like cross stitch. The man cold is getting better. Steve is nowhere near as pitiful as he was, and I am still drinking tons and tons of the Yogi immune strengthening whatever tea. So yeah, and so far, knock on wood, I don't have it. Please, Lord, I don't want it. I don't want to get the crud, because the crud for me, when I get an upper respiratory infection, just settles in and, you know, moves in and stays. And I would like to skip this go round. So here's to you, more immune support tea. Oh, and Adrian, I think of you now every time I drink out of this mug, because it's a peacock. So if you're watching, this one's for you. Anyway, Oh, and I've got a freebie chart to send you a link to too. I'll do that. I'll get on Facebook and message that to you after a while. And anyway, the happy things in my life this week are da 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 da. Whoops, upside down. I have a finish. Yay! This is LizzieKate's Things Unseen, and I started this I think in October maybe. And I have to tell you, I didn't work on it real diligently for quite a while. I've had a lot of other things that I worked on, but I am thrilled to have it done, and I'm thrilled with how it came out. And I love the saying on it, which is a quote from Helen Keller. And it says, "The most beautiful things in life cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." And I think that's just beautiful. You know, again, don't let life pass you by. Enjoy all the beautiful things. And I finally got it ironed, and yeah, the stressful week caught up with me. I came in here to iron it yesterday after I finished it, and had it all laid out on the ironing board and was about to iron it, and looked down and put LDH, because I try to remember to initial stuff I finish. 2017. Heidi ho, Leslie. It is 2018 now, so I had to go and pick that out. And then I came back and ironed it. But one way or the other, no matter the date on it, although it is correct now, she's done. And I'm very happy with it. So she'll go in the closet till I can afford to go break the bank at Hobby Lobby or Michael's to get it framed. But very pleased with how it came out. And at some point, I'll probably pass that pattern along to somebody, because it's a real cutie. Hey, hush up. Grumpy cats. Anyway, and I also, believe it or not, had an FFO. Yay me! This is Love Never Fails by the Primitive Hare, and it's stitched 2/2 on, I think, 25 count white even weave. And it's a mystery fabric from my stash. You know, it's probably been there since mid to late 90s. So I no longer know what the fabric is. It's white even weave. That's what it is. And I got that finished. And I used Vanna's tutorial to do the mounted flat fold. And other than, I think I was about high by the time I got done with that spray adhesive. This stuff is lethal, y'all. The Aleene's tacky spray. Oh my Lord. I may do this outside if I do this again. But anyway, I think it came out well. I have one little spot kind of up on the top here where I didn't get it. I didn't pull it as tight as she said to. And I've got a little wrinkle on the top. But hey, for the first time finishing something like that, I'm happy with it. I'm proud of myself. I love it. It's probably going to go sit over there on that shelf. Yes, I'm real happy to have actually FFO'd something myself, because the only thing I have ever FFO'd before myself was a needle roll, which was basically just a straight seam and then stuff in it. So, hey, I branched out. I've got lots of plans for other stuff. Of course, I would have to get my stitching done to have other stuff to FFO, because that's the only one I can finish myself. I do have a couple things I want to try to frame. I'll bring those out next time. I got a couple other things that are finishes that I'm probably going to try to frame myself. I have two that I definitely want to have professionally framed, because I am not confident in my abilities. And that's the LizzieKate Things Unseen, and then the Shepherd's Bush Earth Gatherers that I finished back in 2002 and have been hauling around ever since. But anyway, I'm happy with that. Proud of myself for getting something finished. And I finished that, I don't know, noon yesterday, something like that. And I had said, you know, I was going to stitch on it like it was my job. And I did. I didn't have that much left to do, but it just seemed like it was, that border was mind-numbing. I don't like doing things that are, it doesn't look like you're accomplishing anything. And half of that border was stitched in a thread the same color as the fabric. And I just felt like I wasn't getting anywhere because I couldn't see anything. Once I got past that, the rest of it I got done in a day. So I was happy. And I have my next whip that I said I wanted to get out and work on was 123 Stitcher Street by SamSarah Designs. And this is stitched 1/2 with the Sulky Petites on 28 count think it's Picture This Plus Parfait, I think. I'll try to remember to put it in the notes. But anyway, I did make progress. I got all of these crazy flower trees up here outlined. I've just got to go back and fill those in. I got a little bit more work I need to do. That house needs a roof and a porch. And I got to fill in the little squares there with white. And then all I had before was the 1, 2, and I've got 3 sticks. So finish that up. But I think I'll be done with this one fairly soon too. So, and I'm probably going to finish it. I'm probably going to do a flat finish on it, but maybe make it where I can hang it up off my hall tree. Or I don't know, maybe it needs to hang in here since this is the craft room. And the yellow would go with my yellow room. And thank you to whoever commented a couple videos back about my pretty craft room. Thank you. I like it. I intentionally chose the bright yellow color because this room faces north. It only has 1 window. It's fairly bright in the morning, but as the afternoon goes on and the sun heads that way, it gets fairly dark. So I wanted something bright and cheerful. So I like my yellow room. We are those people that the realtors would say, ooh, they like color. But I plan to live in this house till I die in this house. So that's okay that, you know, this room is yellow and the living room and dining room are baby blue basically. And then the rest of the house is kind of a taupey, pinky, neutrally color. Not beige. Has a little bit of pinkish tinge to it. But anyway, I got a little bit of color and I like it that way. So good thing I ain't planning to sell it, right? Don't you love my English? My high school English teacher would poop the proverbial hard square thing. Speaking of which, have y'all ever watched Futurama? I heard somebody, I hadn't thought of this in years, and I heard somebody, I was watching FlossTube yesterday, and somebody referred to Michelle Bendy Stitchy as, that said they wanted to call her Bender. And that made me think of the cartoon Futurama. And if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and Google Bender poops. He shits a brick. It's hilarious. It is the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life. And Google that because, yeah, my high school English teachers and even college English teachers would poop the proverbial brick if they heard me say ain't. But hey, I was raised in Texas. What do you expect? But anyway, that was my baby, you go get in that hot tea. Clary says hi. He's such a sweet boy. I love him. And he is a bowling ball. He is almost 9 months old, and he weighs about 9.5 pounds and shows no signs of slowing down. He's not going to be a particularly big cat as far as his frame, but he is a little watermelon. When my husband wants to know where he is, he'll say, "Where's the bowling ball?" And he means Clary. But he's so sweet, doesn't matter. I love you, little man. Gotta get down there. But anyway, see, most times being a cat breeder is awesome. Just sometimes it sucks. Fortunately, most of the time the awesome outweighs it. But anyway, y'all, let me drink some more immune support. I didn't go quite so heavy on the honey this time, and it's more palatable. What else have I been doing? Well, when I haven't been watching FlossTube, and I was so mad on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it was Tuesday. When I watch FlossTube in the living room, I watch it through my husband's PS4. Which, by the way, if any of you other FlossTubers see likes from Steve Hurley, that's actually me. But I just, you know, go through his sign on there because it's too complicated to try to redo it and sign on as me. But anyway, I live in a very rural area. Our internet is, it's not impressive. Excuse me one moment. Get down. Sorry, Sky was trying to terrorize the lizard. Anyway, our internet is not remarkable, except in its lack of dependableness. And Tuesday, I settled down on the couch and was stitching away on things unseen. And all of a sudden, I just get the little spinning circle. And it spun, and it spun, and it spun. And I did everything I knew to do. I disconnected everything, rebooted the router, unplugged the PS4 from its power source, left it off for 5 minutes, plugged it back in again. Anyway, jumped through all the hoops that you do when you're trying to get some kind of electronic device to work. And never could get it to work. So I lost a whole half day of watching StitchTube to that, or StitchyTube to that crap. StitchyTube? FlossTube? Been watching too much Kitten Stitcher. She calls it StitchyTube. But anyway, speaking of Kitten Stitcher, after Steve came home Tuesday night and got the PS4 to working again, I watched a whole bunch the last few days again because I've been stitching. And I don't remember. I think it was Kitten Stitcher, but I got to go back and look. If it was, y'all let me know. She talked about Russian tea, which is a mixture of tang and some spices and lemonade, tea mix, whatever. And that is something that I used to drink by the gallon when I worked at Citizens Medical Center in Victoria. I was a night nursing supervisor for 4 years there. And boy, at night, especially in the winter, it'd be colder than the dickens down in the nursing office. And one of the secretaries that worked there, her name was Kathy. And Kathy would always bring that stuff. Oh, it was so good. So I drank a boatload of it. And I would love to have the recipe. I'm going to have to go back and see if it was Kitten Stitcher that was talking about it. And if it is, Teresa, you may depend. I'm going to be stealing your recipe because I got to make me some more of that. I've forgotten all about that stuff. Hadn't thought about it since I quit working there in 1998, maybe. So, yeah, because I think that's when I moved to San Antonio. So, anyway, going to try some of that Russian tea, and now I know what to call it. But anyway, which brought me back to what I was all into is because I couldn't watch FlossTube. I was listening to Amazon Music a lot. And there's a guy by the name of Jason Isbell, I-S-B-E-L-L, who is just awesome. I like his voice. It's kind of one of those scratchy voices. He's not really country. He's not really pop. He's kind of somewhere in the middle. Although he does do the occasional kind of jazzy kind of thing. But anyway, he is just an awesome songwriter. Y'all should take a listen to him. I'll put a link up to one of his YouTube videos in the comments below too. So I listened to a whole afternoon of Jason Isbell because I couldn't watch FlossTube. So that was my latest all into. Other than that, I've been dull and boring, sat on the couch, watched FlossTube and stitched, and don't have anything new to talk about. But speaking of watching FlossTube, you know how when it cycles through one video, and then if you aren't paying attention and start it, pick something new to start, it just goes on to the next auto start thing. Well, I had not watched anything by Jen's Stitch and Niche. And I was just sitting there stitching along and listening to her, and she's a hoot. She's a lot of fun. And Jen, you make me feel so much better about my 10-ish whips with your 100 and something. I no longer feel guilty in the least. You have cured me. Thank you so much. Anyway, I was listening to Jen, and the next thing I know, she said my name. And again, it just amazes me when somebody gives me a shout out. So thank you again, Jen. Y'all watch her. She's a ton of fun. She's just a hoot. And it's Jen Stitch and Niche, and I will link her down below also. And then Candy Stitches. Watched several of her videos. She's funny, 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 funny. And she has some beautiful pieces too. Enjoyed her. And then, oh shoot, I forgot to look up what her name was. Her FlossTube is Stitch All the Things. She is my twin. She's got a potty mouth. She's very irreverent. She's got beautiful stitching, and she's just fucking hilarious. I love her. And she's only got one video out, so y'all go and find her FlossTube and comment and tell her she needs to make more. She is too entertaining to miss out on. I need to hear more from you. Stitch All the Things, and I'll look up your name. Feel bad about that. And then this morning, when I was stitching a little bit on 123 Stitcher Street, I had, just on that autoplay thing again, and the Crafty Curator, and I think her name is Letitia, popped up, and she had just finished the Embrace, and I'm sorry, I don't know who the designer is on that, but it is a beautiful, beautiful piece. And hearing her talk about how somebody described that as a love letter to her father, oh, I was in tears. It just really touched me. And I decided that although 2018 was supposed to be the Stitch from Stash year, yeah, that one's already been ordered. I love it. I lost my daddy in 2011, and I still miss him every day. And I think I need to do that one. Boy, I am in a boo-hooing mood today, aren't I? I shouldn't be hormonal. I've been menopausal for 10 years. I shouldn't be hormonal, but apparently I have found a way. But anyway, so, yeah, I'm going to have to watch more of Letitia. She's got some beautiful works in progress, too. And she's comes across as intelligent and funny and just a beautiful stitcher. So looking forward to watching more of her. I hadn't made the connection. I've seen her on Stitch Mania and whatever else, Facebook, but, yeah, like her a lot. Gonna have to watch more from her. And I think, wow, I'm already at 20 minutes. I didn't think I had 20 minutes worth of crap to talk about. And really I don't. I'm just blithering. But the only other thing is, I want to mention one more time, I have that giveaway going for when I get to 550 subscribers. And I think when I looked this morning, I was at 516. And I didn't pull the frame and the little floss holder thing out of the closet again, just because I had a bad case of the lazies. But it's a frame, a scroll frame that I think will hold up to a 13-inch wide piece of fabric. And then a little floss organizer thing that holds up to 20 different threads. And I'm going to give those away to somebody via the random number picker, Dumawapi, when I get to 550 subscribers. So, y'all subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. And I'll get those, pardon me, picked and sent out to somebody as soon as we hit 550. And I guess that's about it. And probably 22 minutes is, hey, stop with the growling. Call me the kitty mom. Anyway, 22 minutes is probably plenty enough. I actually left my dogs inside because it is sunny and almost 45 degrees, but they've been outside for 20 minutes. They probably need to come back in because 45 is still cold. Although, boy, they've been missing their runaround time. Two of the three are basically couch potatoes. The two Shih Tzus could lay around all day and be perfectly fine with it. Our little Pomeranian is a busybody. And when she doesn't get her outside runaround time, she is not a happy puppy. So it's funny because I'll go open the door and I guarantee the two Shih Tzus will be sitting by the back door. The Pomeranian will be at the far back corner because she's out there getting as much runaround as she can. And she's going to be as far away as possible for when I call her so she gets the most run in. So go get my doggies in, go check on all my kitties, and get some more stitching done. And y'all, thanks for letting me visit. Sorry I was kind of Debbie Downer today. I'll try to fix that. Stitching should make me feel better, right? But anyway, thanks for visiting, chatting again. I will talk to y'all soon. God bless. Bye, y'all.